okay? It's one of the things that I had to work on because I'd get in a relationship.
Hold on, guys. I'm watching Charlie right now.
And I would just try, like I would switch my viewpoint on either one of the new girls that I was trying to train in my ranks, or I'd switch it to my business. It's about balance.
One of the new girls I was trying to train in my
ranks. Whether it's going to the gym, whether it's building a business, whether it's building ranks like the girls that I have because I have multiple, or it's just one girl.
Okay, bro. As you guys know, AI Slop is everywhere, dude. I mean, it's taking over everything, bro. From YouTube shorts, blogs, comments, and even ads, dude. It's crazy. Now it's even affecting the open source community, bro. So if you guys don't know what happened, Curl recently announced that they'll be scrapping their bug bounty program as a result of low effort posts that use AI in their submissions. And some of you guys might be wondering, like, what the fuck even is Curl, bro? So basically, Curl is a command line tool that allows users to send and receive data using URLs. And they have a bug bounty program that has paid over $100,000 since, they created it in 2019. And just like with dropshipping, those get rich quick gurus, people thought they could make some quick cash by using LLMs to audit the code and submit reports generated by AI. But as you guys know, there's two things wrong with this, right? So the first thing is AI hallucinates, right? So it could make stuff up from the air, dude. You could have perfectly running code, right? And if you fit it into an AI like an LLM and tell it, oh, tell me what's wrong with this, it's going to find something wrong with perfectly fine code. That's how crazy it is. And the second thing is that most of these guys don't check or do any review of the code that it generates, right? They just copy, paste it to the report. It's crazy, dude. And this has resulted in a flood of AI slop reports that Curl staff have to go through, which is a huge waste of their time. And actually, the creator of Curl posted some of these reports, so I'm just gonna go through them and show you just how crazy and low effort some of these posts are. It's crazy, dude. All right, so we start with the first one, right? Which is use of depreciated string copy in the Curl source code. And just want to point out that the people behind Curl, they're really smart people, right? So they have reasons for using what they use, right? It could be performance based, it could be whatever. And so basically this dude is like, oh, string copy is being used here, and as a result of that, that's a vulnerability. But they have their reasons for using string copy, right? And I'm pretty sure they already have like a check, because string copy, that's one of the most known vulnerabilities in C or C++, right? So I'm 110% sure they have like their own implementation of something to prevent, the buffer overflow and stuff, right? And so basically, Badger, which is the creator of Curl, you just asked him like, yo, bro, you didn't point to the exact line where there's gonna be a vulnerability, right? You just said, oh, you're using string copy, and so he's like sussing him out, right? Like, bro, are you using AI? Like, you're definitely using AI Slop. I mean, he's definitely using AI Slop, because if you look over here, you can see there's a fucking emoji, bro. There's an emoji in the comment, bro. No human does that, bro. But basically, he's like, oh, I understand. This is my manual research, right? And he said this is the exact line that shows the vulnerability, but this is just using the string copy, right? It doesn't show any vulnerability. And so he said, like the issue here is the time left. Like, time left is 10 bytes, right? And the string is 9 bytes plus the null is exactly 10 bytes. That's exactly why they put 10 bytes there, because it is exactly 10 bytes, right? It's always going to be exactly 10 bytes. And he said like there's a off by one with compiler. I mean, it's possible, right? But it's not possible with Curl, because they already have implementations there that prevent something like this from happening, because string copy is one of the most common exploits that people use, right? And so having something that's exactly like a buffer that's exactly 10 bytes, I don't see how you can go over 10 bytes if it's exactly 10 bytes. You know what I mean? He didn't provide where the vulnerability is at, right? He just said, okay, this is possible. I mean, technically it is possible, right? But the people behind Curl have put implementation in place to make sure that it doesn't happen, right? And he didn't point out any vulnerability. Badger is like, nah, dude, I don't believe you, bro. And then he put a whole list, bro. He's like the string copy, the emoji in the comment, repeated use of bullet points, and he basically banned the dude, bro. It's crazy, bro. And he disclosed it. But that's one of them, and this is the same one. So basically, instead of when Badger asked him to like show the vulnerability, he basically went ahead and posted another issue. Bro is just shotgunning it, bro. He's just spraying issues, bro. And then he posted this other one. I think it was string copy. It's the same shit. There's a buffer overflow in curl internal print function. So basically what he said here, that there's a buffer overflow vulnerability when you use the printf function, because it writes the format output to a buffer without performing any bounds checking, right? That's what he said. And then basically bro, basically what this dude did is, like I said, bro, these dudes are curl developers, right? They know what they're doing. They're super cracked, bro. Okay, they have their reasons for implementing stuff, right? So basically what this dude did was create a string, right? That's what I think he did. He made a string that is longer than what, you know, this is going to accept, because normally this isn't going to accept this kind of format, right? So basically what he did, or what I think the LLM did, was create an imaginary format that's going to make the printf fail, right? And in a practical sense, it's not going to use that. It doesn't use the function. The function isn't applied that way, right? So it's never going to happen. And that's what Badger said here, that it's a bad use of the function, right? It's not a libcurl issue. It's just a user issue, because why are you using the function like that, right? Then he said it's rubbish AI Slop and he banned the dude and he disclosed it. This one here is possible UAF. I have no idea what UAF means. I'm not gonna lie to you. Basically it's a use after free. I think basically when you free the memory, you can still use it, something like that. It's been a while since I've taken, like, I took OAS last semester, I'm not gonna lie, so I'm lying to myself, dude. But basically he said there's a possible vulnerability. Honestly, I think this dude here is I think it's low effort, but I think he probably tried to do it himself, right? Because then he's like, so he said there's like a specific set of functions that do, you know, they allow you to use like a piece of memory after you free it, right? But then one of the staff said the dude's proof of concept is invalid, right? Because you're trying to call libcurl in a way that cannot be called. That's what I mean with AI hallucinating, right? It does things that doesn't happen. It finds a way. If you feed it something and it says, and you say, okay, give me a vulnerability, it's going to find a vulnerability even if there isn't one, you know? And I think that's what he's doing here. He's like, oh, the issue occurs when you try to free something and then access it, right? And his POC does exactly that. It frees an object and then accesses it, which is not a vulnerability in libcurl. It's just showing you that it can happen, right? It's like if I have, for example, if I have porridge, right? And you're like, oh, dude, this porridge can make someone choke, right? And you're eating it upside down, right? Or you're like eating it while you're doing like some type of gymnastics, right? I mean, like, duh, it's possible, but if you just eat the porridge like a normal ass person, then it's not gonna happen, right? You know what I mean? So that's the same idea here, right? I feel so bad for this dude, bro. And then he was like, after thinking it through, I'm really sad to say that I'm not comfortable with disclosing this report. I think that was really funny. Bro was not trying to get exposed, bro. And then Badger was like, I'm willing to give you some time to think about your life choices, but he is going to disclose it later. It was just this whole interaction is funny. I really feel bad for this dude, but I mean, that's what you get when you post AI Slop, a buffer overflow vulnerability in WebSocket handling, right? And dude, this one is probably the most funniest one, bro. It's the same string copy, right? So this dude is basically saying you're using string copy, which is a vulnerability. That's what this dude is saying, right? And then Badger said, can you tell me why? Because that's why I said they're curl developers. They know exactly what they're doing, right? They know why they're implementing what they're implementing, right? So they already have a length check in the source code, right? Before you call the string copy, right? So basically Badger's telling him, can you tell me why the length check is not enough? And how can the value be longer than the buffer? Right? And so you notice here, this dude, first of all, he references the wrong person. Right? And you can just tell, dude, you can tell this whole report is AI, dude. first of all, you got the certainly, right? Let me elaborate. This is the heading in every AI answer, right? And then you have the bold, right? And just like the it looks clean. This is AI, bro. Because if it's a human, it's not gonna look this clean to where it's bolded, it's bulleted good, and also he's just referencing the wrong person, right? And so basically he says again, okay, he absolutely ignores what he says, right? Look, so the first one, why the lens check is not enough. He says the lens check verifies. Well, why am I saying he? It, because this is basically an LLM, bro. It says that the lens check verifies that the payload is greater than the buffer size, right? However, the usage of string copy is problematic, but it's not going to be problematic because you're doing the lens check, right? So it's perfectly safe to use string copy, right? This is that's how you know this is not like from a human, right? Because I mean, it's pretty, it makes sense, when you think about it as a human, right? But if you're an LLM, you've been fed data that says string copy as a function is not good, right? So you're always adamant that it's never good. You should never ever use it, right? And so Badger here basically says it's true, string copy doesn't do a boundary check. That's why they do it themselves, right? And then that's what he said, like, you may think it's better, but I don't, because they know what they're doing, right? And Badger's basically just asking this dude, like, bro, tell me why string copy is going to be a vulnerability when we already checked the length before we call it, right? And this dude references the wrong dude again, bro. Okay. And then he's like, okay, here, let me tell you how the length check is insufficient and will cause a buffer overflow, right? Then he goes again to say that the string copy function does not check the actual length. Basically, this is just a back and forth, right? Because Badger is like, bro, tell me why string copy is not, I shouldn't use string copy when I already checked the length. And the dude is just like, oh, because string copy isn't good. And Badger's like, but I'm checking the length before I call it. I'm making sure that it's not gonna cause a buffer overflow, and it's never ever going to cause a buffer overflow. So I can call string copy. And then the dude's like, yeah, you can, but string copy doesn't have bounce checking. That's basically what this dude is saying on repeat. Why they're just like, can you tell me how string copy is gonna lead to a problem? Basically, he's like, oh, if you do it this way with the greater than, right, then you can manipulate it, right? So you should do greater than or equal to, right? So this is AI just hallucinating, bro. This dude hallucinated again and said this is what is there, like in the curl code, right? And this is what should be there. But what is there is this is greater than or equal to, right? So this dude is just going back and forth, bro, making up random problems, that don't exist. And then Badger said he's gonna close the issue if there's no actual overflow, because there isn't any actual overflow, right? And then this dude responded, he's like, okay, I understand, right? Like this is valid. This is a valid question, right? But I'm going to completely disregard that and go back to the string copy. And this dude invented another problem. Let me see if I can understand this. So you're saying that if the length is 10, but a crafted request provides a nonce of length 15. So if radlen is 10, assuming radlen 10. So it says here radlen is 10, but then it says radlen is 15. That's what I mean, bro. Like, dude, AI is dumb, bro. Because I mean, if radlen is 10 and keyval is like 5, then it's gonna be greater than or equal to, right? Then you're gonna return the failed function, right? So I don't know what this dude's talking about, bro. This dude is just hallucinating, bro. This dude is straight copy pasting, bro. He's like going back and forth between the HackerOne tab and the ChatGPT tab, bro. It's crazy, dude. And then Badger just closed it. Just say that mumbo jumbo. But yeah, I mean, that's pretty much it for this video, dude. I mean, AI is everywhere, bro, and it's getting worse because now you can't even get money from finding actual valid bugs from curl. You can't make money anymore, you know. But I mean, obviously, if you see a bug, you should report it, type shit, you know. But you can't make money anymore, bro. That's how AI is. It's just seeping into every crevice, bro, and just making it spoiled, bro. That's why I don't fuck with AI, bro. Okay, let me preface this before I end this video, bro. There's a difference between proper AI use and AI slop, bro. Okay, AI slop is something that doesn't take any effort, right? If I just go into ChatGPT and say, you know, give me a painting, give me a self-portrait, right? And I put my picture there. That's AI slop, bro, because that didn't take me any effort, right? But for example, if I'm writing a program that does something, right, and I don't understand a specific part, and I feed it into like ChatGPT, like, bro, explain this shit to me, and he explains it, right, like what it does and how to apply it and whatever, right? I don't think that's AI slop. That's using AI the way it's supposed to be used. You know, you're supposed to use it to enrich yourself, not make yourself dumber. You know, if you just put it there and take what it says at face value, bro, that's slop, bro. I hate to break it to you, bro. That's slop. I mean, if you understand what it's saying, like you say, okay, oh, I understand how it got to this conclusion, then I don't think it's slop. But if you just blindly believe it, copy paste, I'm sorry, dude. That's slop. But that's basically it for this video. Y'all take care. I'm gonna see y'all later. Have a good rest of your day. Peace out.